All right, we're live. What's going on, Carnation? This is John with Cardinal Craze, bringing a very special episode today on the show. We have Madden Sanker. Madden, welcome to the final timeout. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Just happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're happy to be here. We're so glad to get you back out on the show. Definitely talk some Louisville football, and definitely talk about your visit and some upcoming remarks you might have. Just talk about your experience overall, and kind of go from there. All right.
Definitely.
So, man, how are you doing? By the way, is everything going well with your family? All that good to go?
Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. We're just taking the recruiting in and counting as a blessing right now. So we're all just feeling blessed, and we're just ready to keep going.
That's great. That's great to hear. All right. So let's just kind of kick things off with your visit. All right. You visited the University of Louisville around the 1st of March. You went with a bunch of recruits, a couple commits. You definitely are being recruited heavily by Pierce Clarkson, Adonijah Green. And I mean, the staff has really kind of stepped up their game and really are trying to show you that they want you to be a Cardinal. So let's talk about that. So, can you tell us some remarks about the visit, some things that you liked, and where all you may have gone?
The visit was great. I mean, from start to finish, I felt loved the whole time I was there. It really felt like a family. It wasn't like a factory place. You go in, you go out, and you never speak to people again. You can tell the coaches really cared about their players, and even during practice, like they would joke around with their players, and like the energy was through the roof. So I loved the visit. It was great.
That's great to hear. So let's talk about Pierce Clarkson, Adonijah Green. You went on your visit. You told me a little bit off camera that Pierce Clarkson was definitely hitting you up, talking to you while you were there. Can you talk about your relationship with him and maybe even Adonijah Green?
Mhm. Yeah, me and Pierce have been talking for a couple months, even before he wasn't coming to Louisville, about teaming up in college. So me and him stay in touch every once in a while, and he's definitely been pushing me to become a Cardinal for sure. So we talk about probably weekly, once a week, and he'll just remind me that he's there and he wants me to block for him.
Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, Pierce is a great individual and great player, great athlete, and he's definitely a great recruiter, apparently.
Definitely, definitely.
So, let's just kind of open up to some of these factors. Okay, you were talking to Coach Jack Bignell, who
Mhm.
was the O line coach. He left for UNC. Now you're talking to Coach Nick Cardwell. And can you open up about that, essentially that relationship, and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I had a pretty good relationship with Coach Bignell. He decided to leave, which was best for him. No harm done. But Coach Cardwell came in, and he was from the start. He felt like a guy that you could just relate to. I mean, he texts me every day and just checks up on me. I was sick even earlier this week, and he was checking up on me, making sure I was feeling well. But I really like how he coaches. He's high energy. I feel like you need that. You can't really go through a football day without having energy. So he'll be there for those mornings that you're not really feeling it, and he'll make you feel it because, I mean, he'll just be that high energy. So I like him a lot. I think he's a great fit for the program, and I see him staying there for a long time.
Well, that's great to hear. And we are very familiar with Coach Cardwell, and definitely when he was at the University of Louisville a couple of years ago and left for App State. Now he's coming back here to coach the O lines. So let's kind of talk about this. You went on your visit to the University of Louisville. You did a photo op, and you have a number of photos on your Instagram. Definitely go check out Madden Sanker at his Instagram. I'll definitely comment that below, and definitely so all you Card fans can go check him out and check out what he posts. So you did a lot of kind of fun photos, especially with Coach Cardwell, a couple others, and there was one in particular that kind of stood out to me. You kind of did a jump where you kind of like almost like you dribbled the ball, but it was
Yeah.
you passed the football under your leg as you're jumping up. Well, did that come out as successful as it looked, or was it just kind of like just one of those money shots?
I mean, I planned it, so that was the first one we took. I took a couple tries at it. A couple of them looked all right, but I think that was the best one for sure. With March Madness coming up, I felt like it was just the perfect photo to put as the first picture.
Well, it definitely was. And then you did another one where you did a handstand. Did you plan that, or was that just kind of spontaneous?
Yeah, we were going through a couple things, and I knew I could do it because of wrestling, because we do it all the time during practice. So I was like, I think that would look pretty cool for a dude that's 300 pounds to go stand on his hands.
Definitely. So one thing that I know a lot of Cards fans may have some questions about, which is the Louisville Cardinals socks that you wear to wrestling and that you've won 2 state championships in. Can you just kind of comment on how that kind of came to be?
Well, so the first state title, I had 3 offers, and it was Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Tennessee. And I posted a poll on Twitter of which socks I should wear for the finals match, and Louisville won. So I ended up winning the finals that year. So this year, I had a lot more offers than the 3, but I didn't feel like putting a poll up, and I was like, well, Louisville obviously gave me luck the first time, so I got to wear it the second time. And well, I won, so I guess those are my lucky socks. So I definitely has something to do with it.
It really does. I do remember that poll. I think I retweeted and I told Card Nation, "Come on, Cardinals!" And so since then, I've seen glimpses of the Cardinal socks, and I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh my gosh, it's a sign!" All right. So, where on your visit can you say you went that was just very memorable for you while you were at Louisville?
We went bowling towards the end of the visit, and I think that was really fun. Just like there was no stress involved, like practice wasn't going on, a whole bunch of meetings weren't going on. It was just me, a couple of recruits, and a couple of coaches like going bowling, having fun. So that was good. We talked about some football, and we talked about just our lives and stuff, and I think that was probably my favorite part of the visit.
Well, that's great to hear. And let's just kind of open up and talk about the relationship with the coaches. Obviously, we talked about Coach Cardwell. Let's talk about Coach Satterfield and maybe even Coach Hodge.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us any type of insight into how you feel right now compared to before you went on the visit?
Definitely better than I did. I think our relationships with Coach Hodge, Coach Cardwell, and Coach Satterfield have all grown. I sat in a room with Coach Satterfield for about 25, 30 minutes and just talked about football and what they're trying to do there. And I really saw the vision that he had. And I think he's a great-minded coach and he knows what he's doing. So it was definitely a good time for me and him just to sit down and talk about everything that's going on, because I wouldn't know half the stuff that I knew without the visit. So I think the visit definitely opened my eyes just to see really what kind of program they are.
That's great to hear. Now, how could you describe Coach Hodge? Because we've seen him on Instagram, we've seen him on Twitter. He seems like this super energetic guy. What can you
Yeah.
say about him?
He's just like a loving guy. Like he is like what you see is what you get. He's not fake to anyone. You can tell, like, even when he's talking to his players that he has relationship with, or commits he has relationship with, or even like brand new recruits he doesn't even know. He's the same person in every single scenario. Like, he's just energetic. He's a funny guy. Like, he cracks jokes all the time. We sat down, had breakfast with him. He's just like the all around dude.
Well, that's great to hear. How did your parents feel after your visit? Were they ecstatic?
Yeah, they loved it. They have now a great relationship with Coach Cardwell. He calls them all the time. They talk all the time just about stuff, but they loved every second of it. Honestly, they had a great time. They did everything that we did. Like, they came with us to the practice and to the breakfast and the lunch and to the photo shoot and all that. And they just had probably as much fun as I did.
Okay, that's awesome. It's definitely great when your parents are on board, and especially when you're on board as well. So let me ask you this. When do you plan on dropping maybe your top 5 schools? Is there a particular time that you want to drop that, or are you still kind of thinking about it?
Right now, I would say I've probably considered, like, I'm really talking a lot to probably about 10 schools. I'll probably cut it down to about 8 in the next month or two, and I'll probably drop that list. And then I'll probably drop my official visit list, which won't be my top 5. My official visit list won't be my top 5, but it'll be a general list of teams I'm interested in.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. And let's just kind of, we've definitely saved this for the end. But when is your official visit to the University of Louisville?
I'll be taking that June 17th through 19th, and I'm pretty sure I'll be there, and a couple other guys that are really important to the program and coming in will be there too.
That's awesome to hear. We'll definitely be sure to share that with Card Nation as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Madden, thank you so much for coming out here on Final Timeout, kind of breaking down your visit. We'll definitely catch back up after your next visit. And for the most part, is there anything you want to say to Card Nation?
Just keep doing what y'all doing, showing love. I mean, y'all are the team's biggest recruiters. Honestly, y'all got my eyes open when y'all started retweeting all my stuff and liking all my stuff. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, we definitely will. And Card Nation, be sure to go follow Madden. Check out his Instagram, Twitter, Snap, whatever he has. We will post it down below. We will retweet everything. All right. So for the most part, this has been John with Cardinal Craze and Matt and Sanker. And Card Nation, be sure to tune in next time. Go Cards.
Yes, sir.